He teabagged him. I mean, he's still popping off. Everyone. And he shook his hand and then he popped off after that.
Are you lamer boy? Why did you flash kick?
Can't scare me right now.
NorCal sucks, dude.
It doesn't matter what you think. And here is your host, Higashi.
Hey, thanks, James. That was a great intro. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us on another exciting episode of Ronin Rambles. Today, we got some special guests today, and let me introduce you to them. We got Ultima, our first guest. He is a DJ in the Bay Area, a Red Bull Conquest finalist, and one of the most annoying Rashid you'll ever play against. Say what's up, dude.
That's me.
And our next guest, he is one of the only individuals who have ever beaten Punk, not only in net play, but in tournament as well. He does not give a damn about what you think about him, and he just plays the most insane Urine you'll ever play against. Give it up for NORESPECT.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
here. You see it.
You see it. Can you see it? All right. And next, we've got one of the most multi-talented motherfuckers that I know. He streams. He plays. He makes music. He plays Ryu in Street Fighter V. Give it up for AMKIDD.
What's happening, everybody? Good to see everyone.
Yeah, man. We are all like kind of the newcomers for the fighting game scene in NorCal. Like for the most part, at least. Like I know Herman's been in like maybe a year or so more than us, but you know, big deal. Ultra Street Fighter 4, you know, which like what did you play? El Fuerte?
Yeah, I played El Fuerte.
Yeah, fuck that character.
Oh my god.
It helped me. It didn't help me at all for Street Fighter 5. That's how good I was.
I can't believe you played El
I mean,
Fuerte
it's
and
just a
then now
character.
Rashid.
Yeah, dude. Plays two crazy ass characters.
Two completely different characters. Like, but just know, like, none of it helped me in 5. Like, if you knew what I went through at the start of 5, you'd be like, oh, it serves you right.
I heard you were playing on a 360 pad.
I was.
Wow.
That's what Long told me.
I had a regular 360, and then I had the one Snake Eyes used.
Which one?
The one that
Oh, the
had
one with the
face.
6 buttons on the face?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
And it was so bad that I had to reassign my buttons. So I switched the medium, punch, and fierce when I played El Fuerte, so I can do run, stop, fierce easier.
And that was like a one frame link after 2 reps
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, it was. I
Yeah.
could do like 5 if I was lucky.
Yo, relax. Damn.
I only did it because I cheated, and I saw this video. This guy's like, "Yeah, here's the easier way to do it. Just assign where the X and triangle are. Just assign those to fierce and light, and then you just slide your thumb up and down like really quick to do it."
All right, guys, you guys heard it here first. Ultima is a cheater. Is a hacker.
Straight up, dude. We all knew. We all knew.
Unlike some people we know that use turbo in Street Fighter 4, but we won't name names.
Oh, who was it?
Oh,
What about now, man? Tell him.
The Cappuccino.
dude, the video of Sagat? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that video.
He uses turbo. Dude, I never used turbo buttons since I was like a kid.
No, it was Sal Pacino.
He used turbo?
Yeah, he used turbo to do light in the DP because he couldn't do it. He couldn't link the light, I guess.
So for turbo, you just hold down the button.
Yeah.
And it jabs, and then he just did the DP motion.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a video, like in the video, you see his like light inputs while he's blocking and getting hit. You just see his light inputs like flare
Like
up,
going
all
crazy.
light, on the
It's
side.
hilarious, dude. Yeah,
Wow.
it's hilarious. But yeah, I think it's time to get in some topics though now, right, guys?
Sure.
So, first one I wanted to talk about was what made us want to go outside to play video games, right? To like take our backpack, bring our stick to a venue or a pad, if you will, and just play and get better. Like, what motivated you guys to go out?
Oh, me first? Okay, cool. It's funny that you bring this up, and it's crazy how Ultima's here too. Because before any of this, I've never played Street Fighter 5 ever, like face to face with somebody else or inside a venue. First tournament that I ever been to was just Hadouken. I forgot what city it was in, but I remember being so nervous because I've never been to any type of video game kind of venue, and I've never played Street Fighter 5 offline in my life. I give a lot of credit to Ultima for, first, and like coming up to me on Twitch as a stranger and be like, hey, come out over here, blah. there's some good people, blah blah blah. And so that's pretty much how it started.
That's when Arnold showed us his BMW. You know.
License plate.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh yeah,
like-
with the license plate, AMKIDD.
We were almost.
Oh yeah, that's my car right there. How do you know? It's my license plate. I was kidding. But yeah. Started coming out to Esports Arena in Oakland a lot more. First it was like I couldn't go inside without like going with someone first, and then I started getting more comfortable and talking to people and stuff. So at that point I started going in by myself and meeting people there this time, you know, rather than waiting for someone to come in with me. That was the biggest difference. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's always definitely more welcoming when you know someone there. So
Right.
it definitely helps bring in more people, because like fighting games is so personal that it's really hard not to meet someone, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what's crazy is that I remember thinking like, damn, like everyone online is toxic as hell, right? You know, I mean, like especially if you
You're not
play on
wrong.
Twitch. Especially if you play and streaming on Twitch, someone's gonna come in your chat and be like, "Yo, bro, what that? You random," you know, or whatever, right?
Just
You know,
do it.
blah, blah.
Oh,
But it was the
Exactly how they felt
complete, like for me, it was the complete opposite when I went offline. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Everyone's hella nice. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's hella dope. You know, there's still some bad seeds, right? There's always gonna be
Of
bad
course.
seeds in any type of community, any type of game, whatever it is, right? But if you hang out with with the right people, with the, you know, like minds who are, you know, whatever, then I think you'll have a good time for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely welcome anyone. Like fighting game scene is very welcoming, and we always want more people to join. But yeah, let's hear from Ultima next. Like, what was, because like you started a little bit earlier than us, so I'm curious how your experience was.
If I can remember it correctly, I think I was just playing like I was playing the end of Street Fighter 4, so like Ultra, and I was just playing online so much that it used to be a thing where like I would hang out with people that played League and Street Fighter. Then when we would take a break from League, we'd go to Street Fighter, and then we'd go back to League. And for me, it was always just like I would stay on Street Fighter, not go back to League, and I just kept breaking up, getting points, and then my friend's like, "Get ready, we're gonna go out." Like, I forget what day Milpitas Golfland does their weekly.
Oh wow, you
So
went to Milpitas Golfland, huh?
Yeah, I heard about that too.
We went that one day, and I was like, "All right, I'm pretty good at the game, blah blah blah." And then I got body. I went like 0-2, but that's where I met like Nando, Kelvin, Long, it's like Huda Man, Crack Fiend, all those like Joe Flores, and like all those other people. I met them all that same day, and they're like, "Yeah, you should come back." Like blah blah. I was like, "Bro, I didn't even know this existed." Yeah, ever since then I've been coming out to everything. Like I think I've been to every weekly in the Bay Area, from like CTB to Sharkade to the Campbell one to It Was Tuesday in Concord, right? Concord,
wow.
Ted?
Yeah, it's Concord. Yeah.
I've been to like every weekly they have ever hosted
Nice.
in the Bay Area.
Next up, let's get No Respect.
So, I really didn't start competing till Street Fighter 5, the beginning of Street Fighter 5. I was like an online warrior also, but I knew there was events somewhere in the Bay Area, especially at the Foundry. Churning the Butter, I believe. 'Cause I used to
Yeah.
watch a lot of streams for Street Fighter 4 because I played Street Fighter 4 casually in the beginning, like vanilla days, with one of my best friends. And I always wanted to go out to events, but I was scared. I don't know why. I was just
You?
I was
You
just scared.
scared?
Yeah, I was just scared to go out to those events. Or I wanted one of my friends that I grew up with to come with me. But when Street Fighter 5 got announced, that's where I kind of like, broke the shell. I met JP, Braganza, Bisu, Panoptic, and Taunt at that Concord tournament. It was Tuesday. So Concord's probably like 15 minutes away from me. That was probably like the very first local I ever competed at. Then JP introduced me to Churning the Butter, and I rode out with them every Thursday to Churning the Butter. And what's hella funny, like that whole year when I started going to locals, like it kind of motivated me to travel more. That's why you kind of seen me at different events too. I started going to like West Coast Warzone. I just started flying out to places because I just wanted to get the experience. I was hooked. Like I knew there was a community out there, like that fighting game community, watching on streams, like watching Evo during Street Fighter 4 days, and I was just like, man, I was hooked. I was having hella fun just going out to places and just playing video games in general, and
Yeah.
just that competition drive was just so addicting. So yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
mean, I think competition was such a big thing for having us come back as well, because if we lose, we want to beat the person who beat us, you know?
Yeah,
And it's like you have a little bit of a rivalry going. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I remember we played a lot actually, Ted, and
yeah.
we would go back and forth constantly. And I was
Mhm.
like, all right, this motherfucker is my rival. I'm gonna beat him every single time. I don't care. But yeah.
Yeah, we did go back. Same with Herman too. When I met Herman, he kind of wanted us to be a rival because he tried to money match me.
I made a comment somewhere, and then someone tried to get me to. Oh, Marcos tried to get me to money match Ted because Marcos is a big like money matcher guy and wants to drink and stuff like that. And like we supposed to have like a money match on stream, like a grudge match thing, because we were doing like grudge match era that time. And then Ted doesn't show up. Next time he shows up, we just become the best friends.
Yeah, it's hella funny. Yeah, I
was, like,
started
no
like scooping
drama.
him up.
I think for me, it was just more about I was tired of being the online Ryu. At that time, I was like, I don't want to be the online Ryu guy, you know what I'm saying? So I started showing up to locals. But I remember talking to Ultima like a lot about it, almost after every single event. Like, yo, I want to, you know, like get top 8. I want to, you know, do better, blah, blah. But I mean, not just my competitive drive, but I also wanted to meet people as well too. Because I felt like it was so cool. I remember, I forgot what tournament it was, but it was at the Foundry for sure. And then this Fong player that I always played online, like all the freaking time, who would always beat me. He was my first match or my second match or whatever, right? I totally forgot his name, but I remember when he sat down and introduced himself, I was like, you're the fucker that always beats me. I was like, I'm gonna get you today.
You beat me online, I'll beat you offline.
Yeah, I know. I beat him offline though. I beat him in the tournament that day. But yeah, so I mean, like those small interactions were really dope. You know what I'm saying? And then meeting Hylex as well too. And now like I have a story about Hylex, how like, you know, I go to my second tournament ever, which is the Foundry or whatever, and then Hylex puts me in losers. But now it's like part of that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the come up, I guess you could say that. So yeah, so I think it was, you know, not just the competitive drive in me, or you know, or not being known as the online Ryu, but also like meeting people and meeting my online rivalries. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the world that I came from. I came from online, you know, and so, you know, getting to meet these players offline was like the biggest thing, and being able to ask for feedback too. Like I asked for a lot of feedback on how to get better and stuff.
That's
Because
really
on
important.
Street Fighter 5, you don't have that. You don't have voice chat, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, like most of online was pretty toxic anyway. So you even asking for feedback is not even, you know, like a thing now. Well, I mean, back then at least, you know what I'm saying? So like being able to, you know, get that right away. And when people say, I remember thinking to myself too, my like before I headed out to my first tournament, was what the hell is the difference between online and offline? There can't be a big difference, right? And I remember I kept asking Ultima that. I was like, what the hell is the difference? Bro, like when I played offline, I was like, holy shit, I can't do it. I felt like I sucked. Like it was bad. And at the time, I was like the only Ultra Diamond Ryu. I was feeling myself. I was like, yeah, no, I'll be all right. I'm gonna get top 8 today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got wrecked. So yeah. Yeah, but there's a huge difference when you play offline. When you come from online to offline, it's not just the inputs or whatever, but it's the atmosphere, it's the people behind you. If you fuck up,
Talk to him. Tell him about himself. Tell him about himself. That's what I like to see.
you fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you'll know for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest difference for me, was hearing everyone behind me. You know what I'm saying? Everyone behind me. So
yeah, I think like at the start it's a little intimidating, but as it goes on though, it kind of like feeds you, right? Like you get so used to it that you're just like it's more motivation than anything. And I think that's something that's really missing right now, is because we're all at home, we can't go out or anything like that. We're missing that atmosphere, and I'm starting to notice it just with events and everything and how different it is. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about, like, since we're all kind of online warriors, right? Like that's how we pretty much started. That's how we kind of got good, right? So, do you guys contribute your success to online or offline?
I do. Online. I really do. Because that's how I kind of got noticed. I used to do that ESL online tournaments.
Oh,
Remember? Yeah. So I won a couple of those online tournaments with Nash. One of the ESL guys hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want us to fly you out to do this NorCal versus SoCal thing?" And you already know, I already like knew what was like. I knew that was going on. They were streaming that like every Tuesday, and I got hella excited. They hit me up on like Twitter saying, "Yeah, we'll fly you out, this and that. You'll be going against Oliver Queen." I was like, "Oh shoot, Oliver Queen." Then yeah, that's how I feel like me competing on those online tournaments kind of got me noticed. So that was like the starting point. And me traveling to all the other events, then especially beating top players. That's where, you know, they're like, "Man, who the fuck is this kid?" You know, like, who is this guy? Like, who is this Nash player, or who is this Urian player? So I really think like online really contributed to my success for Street Fighter.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same way. Cause I mean, I would go out to like the first Street Fighter 5 event, and you know, I was okay, but I wasn't like even a threat to most people. But once I started to play more online, I started grinding a lot online, and because I didn't really know people back then for sessions, right? Like I was pretty unknown, and sessions were super important to get better, but I just didn't know about them. So I just played online and grinded ranked, and eventually like got up there to the point where I would get invited to sessions, and I would get to know more people. And online definitely helped out. Almost, I definitely contributed like a lot of my success to online for sure.
Yeah, I think for me too. I mean, obviously, because I came from online, right? And I used to like a big part of my stream at the time was grinding ranked online, right? I got to the point where I hit #1 Ryu in North America, and that was like my shit at the time. And but you know, obviously that didn't really matter when you go offline, right? But then but like that's how it got started. Like where the ball started rolling for me as far as like being more competitive, because I just didn't want to be #1 Ryu online. I wanted to be really good offline and still be a threat the same way I am online, you know. And then obviously, as far as like as if we're talking about progression as a player, I think so too, because when you go online to ranked, you're matched up with random people with all different types of play styles, with all different types of characters. You don't really get that kind of access when you go to a local, right? Because you have your regulars who play the same characters, yeah, and they have a certain play style that you get accustomed to subconsciously, right? You're like, okay, I know how, you know, Ted plays, I know how Ultima plays, blah blah blah. So you could kind of develop a strategy around those players, and that's where like the offline competitive side comes, you know, like, you know, that's where the offline competitive side kicks in. But with online, you know, it's really just like being able to adapt faster, right, to different play styles. Especially if you're only playing them first to two or whatever, or if it's a character that you're unfamiliar with, right? So that was like, for me at that point, it was like really good matchup knowledge and being able to switch up my, you know, different play styles so I could, you know, adapt better, blah blah blah. So yeah, I contribute a lot of my success to online, because not only is that, you know, the first place that I started, but as far as, you know, learning more matchups and developing multiple play styles to beat different types of players, that helped me a lot.
I actually have to go with offline. Offline was a big thing for me because I did it so much during the time that when it was thriving. Like, I would go to long sessions, he'd host sessions like on the worst days ever. It'll be like Tuesdays. We'd play until like 3 a.m. I'd go home, like go to work, and then it'd hit Wednesday, just play offline. We'd go to Campbell for tournaments. It was offline was a big thing to me, because online it was like I understood that since it was two different worlds, like people weren't like, I'm just gonna go with like the money wasn't in online. It was at tournaments offline. Like if you wanted to get paid and you wanted to win, you'd go offline. So there was no point in playing online at the time. So like me adjusting to how people play online compared to what I've known for offline was just not a reason for me to like try to learn online. So that's why I kept sticking to offline. And you could see from when I started winning more, it was just like, man, offline, it was just like crazy to have. I say it like it's gone now, but yeah, it was like, for me, offline definitely helped me like achieve a lot more than what online did for most people.
Right. I mean, I think like online teaches you how to play the game, but offline teaches you how to play against players. I think going to both online and playing online and playing offline are both equally important in terms of like getting better. And I think offline will definitely contribute more once you get high level.
Yeah, I feel like online is more of like the homework, and like offline is more of the classwork tests.
Mm-hmm.
You could say it like that.
Yeah, I've always told people with online, like, go into online, like, practicing things. Like, there was a time where I'd only go into online to, like, anti-air. Like, my main goal was, I don't care if I lose or win the match, I would just anti-air. Like, if he got a jump in on me, that was bad. Like, I need an anti-air. If I lost a round, fine. As long as I anti-aired every jump, I'm good. That's, like, the little homework you do online, like, helps in the long run.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, since we all kind of started a little bit late and we learned from all the old school players, trying to learn how to play footsies against these guys and like learning how to use your neutral buttons the way that they should be used as opposed to like playing online, I guess. Like, how was that experience for you guys?
I still have a hard time playing
It's-
neutral and
yeah.
footsies. So
I'm sure playing Urian doesn't help you that much.
I mean, Arnold's an expert at footsies and neutral, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Arnold hardly jumps now. This
Yeah,
fool, like, I played him recently, and he does not want to jump no more. So he stays on the ground. So I think, Arnold, what do you think about footsies and neutral?
I still remember playing Alex Valle. Obviously he's probably the most old school player that I know so far, right? Playing him and then playing other people is like two different things. I like, for example, I played him with Ryu versus Ryu, and I know he's not a Ryu expert. He's kind of like he likes to play different characters and have fun, right? So sometimes he'll play Ryu for a certain period of time. He'll play Blanca, blah blah. But I remember playing his Ryu, and it's so different playing his Ryu compared to other online Ryus, because Alex plays it very straightforward and on the ground neutral. And low forwards, fireball game, blah blah blah. So seeing that difference from Alex and then playing online kind of helped me as well too. I'm just like, yo, okay, that's if me come, like, I'm the Ryu expert. I'm supposed to be the Ryu expert at, especially online at that time, right? But Alex doesn't really play Ryu. He's just having fun with Ryu, but he's playing this neutral game with me. There's a huge difference between our play now. So it's me, the character specialist versus the non-character specialist, but he's out footsying me at that point with my own character. It doesn't make any sense to me at the time, right? I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I'm supposed to know what to do, right? But so I mean, as far as footsies, that taught me a lot. Like, it just goes, it's just patience, obviously, learning your buttons, learning how to rotate your buttons as well too, and kind of seeing what buttons that you like to do when a player does this, so if you catch on to your own behavior and your own patterns, it'll be harder for them to figure out what you want to do, because you're rotating your buttons pretty often, So learning neutral that way was a big thing for me, like a big wake-up call, actually. Not just like jumping. People think neutral is just dashing forward and pressing a button or jumping and da. Neutral is honestly being able to read the player's intentions at the mid ground, and learning what they like to do and then countering it or being counter offensive. So
Yeah, it's also like you have to know your ranges as well, like knowing the exact spot to throw a fireball, knowing when to throw out like medium punch, sending roundhouse, your heavy buttons. It's really an eye opener when you definitely play someone who an OG like Alex Valle. Like for us, I guess it's Crack Fiend, because he's pretty fucking old and he's been in the scene forever, and he knows more than almost all of us combined probably. But definitely playing against him, he's like, I remember the first wake up call I had was playing as Urian, and he beat me 5 games straight, and I was like, dude, what am I doing wrong? And he's just like, dude, I'm just reading everything you're doing. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool, great. So how should I fight this? And he goes through the motion and he goes through like ranges, goes through buttons, tells me about like the meta and whatnot, and footsies and stuff like that. Obviously, I couldn't like take all of it all at once, but over time though, it definitely helped though. Like having someone teach you and help you throughout your journey of playing like fighting games, because neutral is fucking hard, dude.
It is. It is.
Yeah, neutral in Street Fighter 5 is kind of really hard to learn, despite what people think, because like you have that one opportunity to play neutral, and like once you lose, they're in on you and they're on you until you're dead for the next round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do you really learn something where you get like one chance to like mess up? So playing against like Crackfiend and all of them, that like all they needed was one to get in and then they're on you. It's like really hard to learn the neutral game itself, because it's just like once out of a whole round you get to try to learn it and you fail the first time, so you're just like, oh great, dead, next round. One more again, and then you fail again, and you're just like, wow, I can't learn it this way. And it's hard for you to like reenact it in training mode because people play differently. So it's like, how do I learn this within like a short time span of playing someone was really difficult for me.
It's an eye opener or anything, right? And you definitely think you're like the hot shit, and then you get out neutral like the first 10 seconds, and then you lose, and you're just like, well, that's great.
First 3 seconds, and then you're in the
First
corner.
3 seconds.
Then you're guessing.
Yeah, City, dude. I mean, that's like that's another thing like I liked about playing Mika, was that if I got like a sweep or a knockdown, dude, like what are you gonna do, right? You better either jump or just get hit, dude.
You missing that invisible wall?
Oh hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, that was the most fun thing about playing that character in season 1, man. But,
that really messed her up.
I think she's like still fine, but like I think she never went back to being the force to be reckoned with in season 1 since the nerf. Dude, the clap, man.
Good.
Oh my god.
I remember every time I play like Higashi or Pablo or anyone who played Mika, as soon as they knocked me down, I'd be like, all right, let me think about the next round. Even though I had like 90% life, I was like, all right, bring the next round.
Just get this over with. This is too much mental damage right now.
I remember when I played Sal for the first time at CTV.
Oh,
he was
dude.
playing Mika, but I beat him. But he was just like, "Man, you know the matchup." I was just like, "Yeah, my best friend plays Mika. I know it."
Dude, Sal, oh man, that guy is something else. He's like your demon, right, AM?
Dude, Sal, okay, I think I could confidently say was my demon. But there was a big portion of my offline stuff where I was like, fuck, I gotta fight Sal. Like, I just didn't understand what was happening, man. But I finally figured it out later on. But still, like, it was, and then everyone would say, oh, he always plays this way, AM, so this is why he can't win. Well, I'm just like, how come I can't beat him then? I don't understand why I can't beat him. But yeah, he was the biggest demon I had. Oh my lord.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Sal Pacino, he played Adon in Street Fighter 4, and then he played Mika in Street Fighter 5. But he is like one of the most wild, crazy, doesn't give a goddamn what you think. Like he does whatever he feels like at that moment in time, and he'll do it. He won't even second guess himself, which is a strength of its own, but it's also like a little bit of a crux for him. But like, dude, dealing with him sometimes is like dealing with a maniac. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, no disrespect to Sal, but
No disrespect.
he is like the definition of a gatekeeper. If you want to progress,
that's true. Yeah.
better in the game, you have to learn how to beat Sal. If you can never beat Sal, you will never get better at the game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's like the ultimate online player, dude.
I mean, shoot, dude, he gatekept me from making that Street Fighter League team.
ESPN?
Are you serious?
Yeah, the latest one. Remember the one where we had to go to LPN's house to play the online one?
Yeah.
The time ESPN came to, was it ESPN came to ESA? The television viewing, the 5v5?
It wasn't ESPN.
Oh, that was
no,
TNT?
NBC.
He was on a right. No, Pavel won that.
Pavo, yeah, Pavo did.
It was
Oh,
him
yeah,
and
but that was-
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Shout
Yeah, that
out
was a
Sally.
fun. That was pretty fun actually. Pretty cool
That
having
was
like
actually a
cameras
fun night.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
dude.
a fun night.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, so many good memories at ESA though, right? Like Red Bull Conquest, all the events that Long and Rose would like put up and whatnot and start. It was such a good venue, dude. And
Yeah.
as we all know, it did close because of thanks to like a lot of the COVID-19 and just it was a great venue though, and I'm gonna miss it a lot. But I mean, I kind of want to try to talk about like what you guys think that we can do from here, because right now we don't really have any venues at the moment for NorCal. And I think like after COVID-19 kind of settles down, we're gonna have to try and find something, right? Because we can't play online forever, you know.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hope not either. Yeah, but I mean, I know like there's gonna be some stuff that people like Crack Fiend, Long and Rose, they're gonna try and do some stuff. But I think it's also important for us to pitch in a little bit and try to like come up with some ideas. So I wanted to like maybe brainstorm a little bit with you guys. Like, what do you guys think would be a really good solution? Like for myself, I think it'd be finding a very small, local like venue, and the location is really important too. Actually, yeah, because I was thinking maybe San Mateo or even East Bay. But I can't think of a name for a place though. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I totally agree. Like, I think we do need to find a venue. Right now, we all have to embrace, of course, we all have to embrace the whole online CFN experience right now. For not just for Street Fighter, but for any like fighting games or any LAN party or any LAN event that goes on until all this COVID stuff is done. I would try to say something smack dab in the middle. I don't want to go to San Mateo, bro.
Oh yeah, dude, you're hella far.
So far. But yeah, I would just say something smack dab in the middle. I mean, like I said, Oakland was like, I thought Oakland was
was
a
perfect
location.
I'm gonna say something a little bit different. I think, I mean, yeah, obviously I do think a venue would be important, right? Because that's where you have, you know, let's say that, you know, all this COVID stuff dies down and we're going, you know, everything's reopening and then we're, you know, then at that point we're looking for a venue. I don't really think it was the venue that was the biggest obstacle. It was about bringing more players to the venue. You know,
True.
I mean, like I've been to Esports Arena. I mean, at one point I was going every week, right? But I always saw the same players. I always saw the same people, right? Once in a blue moon, I would see someone post online, "Hey, it's my first time going to Esports Arena," and I would message them like, "Yo, come see me if you need any information about it, blah blah blah," or if you need a familiar face, because that's what, you know, like for me, that's what brought me in was people. Right, the people welcoming me in, right, saying, "Hey, you know, I'll be your friend at this venue," so that way you don't feel lost or whatever. I think we need ambassadors. I think we need, you know, someone that has an online presence that can be an ambassador for all those new people that want to get in or looking for information. Because for me, I didn't know venues existed until Ultima reached out to me. Right, I couldn't find it anywhere. Like I know people say, "Yeah, we'll go on Reddit, blah 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 blah." I didn't know about that shit. People said go on Facebook. I'm like, where on Facebook? Do I look up Street Fighter event on Facebook or whatever? Like that information wasn't accessible to me, especially from a newcomer. Now, like my Twitter's full of FGC people, so I see it everywhere, right? But imagine not being in, you know, in that scene, not knowing anyone in the scene, not following anyone in the FGC or whatever, and then trying to find that venue or trying to find information or whatever. So I think there needs to be like a you know, a localized website or something like that shows all the events going on in the Bay Area that people could turn to. That's going to be like the #1 central hub, right? That people can find information in their area for that, you know, for their FGC event, right? And then not only that, but there should be a Twitch. There should be an FGC ambassador for that, for NorCal. That's going to welcome those new players, and that'll be the point of contact in case those newcomers have questions about it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, even starting like a new FGC group for newcomers in general, so that way they could be a part of a new group of people. Also, wanting to be part of the FGC. Because you know, sometimes it can be a little intimidating for people to step into a circle with veteran FGC members.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I definitely
then-
agree. But like, are you saying like having someone create a hub for like players who only play online and they don't know about the offline scene, or are you talking about like just having someone reach out to like find new players who haven't been to offline events?
It could be both. It could be
be both.
both, right? You know, yeah. So it could be a central hub for online players looking to get to the offline scene or want to go play at a local, or you know, blah blah blah. It could be people on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is, you know, that has a pretty, you know, sizable platform that can be the point of contact or whatever. I just think there needs to be you know, not just one person, maybe even a team of people or whatever, one or two, whatever it takes, right? That could, you know, get those new players in. Because, you know, us, I mean, now even me coming into almost 2+ years, right? Like, you know, I'm probably not a veteran, but I know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But you know, all those new people don't know what's going on, and it's not a problem for us to go to a venue, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, I don't want to keep fighting no respect every week. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I don't want to see the same people in grand finals. I want to see new players come up there and take that shit over. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a bigger bracket, not just 20+ people. I want to see fucking 48 every single week or some shit. You know?
So,
like, I'm trying to see that.
Have you been to Training the Butter, AM?
If I have I?
You have. He has.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The foundry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the foundry. Yeah.
So when Street Fighter 5 first came out, the first weekly was 100+. It was like 100+ something, and then the second week I think it was like 90, and then it gradually declined into a soft, like, what was it, like 40-ish?
40, 50-ish.
Okay.
That was like the first season, right?
That was the first season, yeah, and then it just gradually declined. So
They used to have Smash the same day, or remember we kind of separated from Smash?
Yeah.
it was like alternating or something
Alternating?
like that. It was
Okay.
yeah, it was something weird going on, but yeah, so like I kind of wish that like we had something like that back then, right? Because people would come and go, and some of them just wouldn't come back, right? And we talked about this last week, actually, or 2 weeks ago, and it was basically like talking about either top players coming up and showing up, like P.R. Balrog, Ricky Ortiz, Justin Wong, because he was in NorCal at that time. And then we would also talk about how we can try to embrace the new players better. And I think back then we didn't really care because we were kind of, you know, we were content with like the 50-ish people showing up. And I that definitely hurt the scene, I think, because we didn't really care, honestly. Like, I think as someone who starts to come up, like us, for example, like us three, and at CTB at least, we were like, hey, we're actually starting to win now. This is sick. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm just going to get better. But like for those other players that weren't really like getting like progressing, they kind of just quit. So I think when Street Fighter 6 comes out, there's going to be a big resurgence of players, and I think it's going to be our jobs to embrace them and tell them what's up, how's it, like, how everything is run, show up, and just how to get better. But I think it's another thing for having the big names come out as well. Like, do you guys have like any like solution for that? Like how to get like these bigger named players to show up? Because we were trying to talk about it, and it's really hard because it's not really our decision at the end.
Yeah.
But like, how do we incentivize them to show up?
I think, like, as sad as this may sound, you can't get them to show up. You shouldn't expect them to show up. You shouldn't try to make them show up. Like, to them, they're in a way different mindset than we are when it comes to competing and keeping their professionalism. Like, to them, if they think about it like, hey, 5 hours at somewhere for $100, is that really worth my time when I can shift it to like 1 hour practicing for real that will make me get top 8 at a major? Like, for them, like, if they weigh the values, pros and cons of coming out to a weekly compared to training inside and doing it correctly compared to coming out, it's not worth it for them. I wouldn't go out if I was a top player. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't call out to my weeklies. I would not. If it meant the difference between me making top 8 and not, I would stay home and do what I had to do to make top 8. That's if I was a top player. I know how shitty as that sounds, but it's honestly the truth.
No, I mean, I definitely hear you there because it's a lot of time to commit. It's almost your entire day, even.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's between two things. Like if you're a streamer, it's like, oh, I could just stream, or I could go out to a local and make maybe what $50 or something like that. So it's, you know, I hate bringing up like money.
It's an expensive hobby. It's an expensive hobby. like I said before, it takes time and money. And like these top players, some of them are sponsored. Some is like if they know there's no like big dollars getting thrown into the mix, they will not show up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's almost like
that's how I seen it. Like I hardly seen Jay Wong at a tournament or PR Balrog or F Champ. I hardly see them compete. The only time I seen F Champ come out was when Marvel Infinite started, showing up.
Yeah.
And we all know how that went.
Yeah. But like I said, it really all depends. If there's like a big incentive for these top players to show up, they'll show up. But other than that, it's just like it's really if you really want to come out and get better. I mean, you have that motivation. You want to meet new players. You want to get good, then come out. But
so do you think we shouldn't even think about them showing up then, and put that out of the equation entirely then?
That's what I think. That's what I think. Yeah. Like if
you could ask. Yeah, if they come, they come.
Yeah. If not, we worry about who's there and how to keep them there rather than who doesn't show up and
nurture that. Yeah.
Because like I think another thing is like looking at your reach on like say Twitter or whatever, and you try to leverage that and see who your fan base is and see if you can convince them to come out as well. I think it's gonna be our job though to advertise and let people know about events. So because we're kind of like the new guards. That's what this podcast is named after, and like as the new up and comers, up and comers, it's
new blood.
It's kind of like our job as well to make sure that people know about events and whatnot, because it's something that we want, because the older heads have already experienced all of the high time of like Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3. So I think Street Fighter 5, regardless of what you think about the game, I think the game was fine. Some people didn't like it, some people loved it, but I think it's gonna be really big on the players to bring more people out.
Yeah, definitely communication is a big factor with everything in general. Like we just have to keep communicating with everyone, and like some people just want someone to reach out to them and be like, hey, are you going? Like I used to do that tons of times. Like when I go to different locals, I'll be like, hey, are you going? They're like, oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, let's go. So like definitely communication, like what Arnold pitched out to the ambassador type thing. Like if we have someone that's willing to put in the time to,
well, it doesn't even have to be one person though, right? It could be like a group effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Grassroots, baby. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, because right now we have nothing to really go back to, so I'm trying to look forward more to like beyond when we're able to go back outside and everything like that. Like I said, like Street Fighter 6, for example, maybe even Guilty Gear, but I think it's gonna be a real struggle for NorCal at least to level up and find a way to get better, and a place that we can call home again. But yeah, like I said, that's more of the future, but I think we all need to try to figure out like long term as well. So since we have two musicians here, is that the right way to call you guys? I don't know.
Artists?
I think Arnold's the only artist here.
Oh well, no, you're trying to.
The one that does music. I guess there's two. Yeah.
But since we got two people who are in the music genre here, then I kind of wanted to get your opinion on like how your drive to make good music kind of carries over to competing in Street Fighter, because I'm sure they coincide in some shape, way, or form, right?
Well, let me tell you about this, track I made for
So I mean, I guess with like, if we're it's the motivation to get better. Like it's the motivation to get better, right? Like as a musician, in dealing with music and sound and stuff, there's always something different. You could always get better at it. You can't master music, you know what I'm saying? It's different every single time, not just the genre. It could be the person you're working with, it could be the beats that you're working on or whatever. Music is always innovating itself, and you kind of have to, be on top of that, you know what I'm saying? So I guess with Street Fighter, how that ties in is that, you can't be the top player forever. You can't, for me in my case, I can't be the whatever Ryu expert or whatever, right? Because there's always going to be other people innovating the character or the game or whatever. So being able to, tell yourself, if this is what you want to do, you want to keep getting better at it, it takes a lot of practice and dedication and commitment to, getting better at your craft, and also knowing that you can't master it as well too. Because the moment that you feel like you mastered it and you got everything under control, that's when you plateau. So not just as a player, but also in your career as well too, right? If you feel, if you're not always reaching for that next level, and whatever you do, it doesn't even have to be music, then you'll feel like you hit at, you're stuck at a point in your life, right? So that ties back with anything, with Street Fighter, with the need to get better or wanting to get better, and also knowing that there's better players out there that's doing it better than you, right? And how to beat them, right? So just having that constant drive. I mean, I think that honestly goes back to the type of person you are. If you're just not a motivated person, and you're stubborn, right, and you think you're the best at something, then you're not gonna get anywhere in life. You'll always be at that one spot, and you'll always feel bitter about your losses. You'll always feel bitter about your failures, or whatever. But if you don't constantly try new things, like in Street Fighter, if you don't constantly try different buttons or different techniques or strategies or whatever, then you're just always going to be the same player. You're just always going to be in the same skill level. So,
yeah, I like how you emphasize on trial and error, because that's definitely something that you constantly deal with in Street Fighter and in music as well. Because I'm sure you have a whole entire library of unfinished music and unfinished remixes and whatnot like that. And if you're not happy with something, then it's better to like let it go and learn from it and move on. And in Street Fighter, you need to take your practices from online to offline to see if they work. And if they don't work, then you lose and you eat shit. Right. But if it does work, then you learn something really good. And so it's a great lesson.
Funny. It's funny that we're bringing this up, because I've been reading this book, right, on habits and stuff like that, and the big thing that they emphasize, it emphasizes on, is that a lot of what we do has delayed rewards, right? You work on something, you won't see the progression right away. You won't see the success right away, right? Like, for example, streaming or doing music or whatever it is, you're not going to be a god at music in day one, right? You'll try different things. You might not get it the first time. Or the second time. But after a month or a year or whatever it is, you'll start seeing like, hey, I'm actually pretty good at this now. I actually understand what's going on. So a lot of it is delayed return. We're not going to see that right away. So when it comes to competitive games, right, a lot of people want to be good at something right away. And what sucks is that if they don't understand that, that kind of stuff is delayed return stuff, if they start losing too much, they'll feel demotivated. They're like, okay, well, I can't fucking win. I tried. I've been trying for a week now, and it's not working. Yeah, I mean, like, how many times do you hear that from players or anyone that's trying anything in life? Like, oh, I've been trying, man. It's not working out. Like, bro, it's been a week, it's been a month, whatever, But it's delayed return. You know what I'm saying? So that comes back with Street Fighter success or pretty much whatever you do. It's like working out, right? You can't go to the gym for 1 week and be like, okay, hey man, how come I'm not ripped yet? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense, right? You hit the gym, and then and then you'll start seeing you start slowly seeing the results. Blah blah blah. That's delayed return.
Yeah, that's something that I think America in particular has a big problem with, is instant results.
Yeah.
Everyone expects to just get rewarded after putting like so little time into it. And something I've been learning a lot recently, especially with like this whole editing and this podcast, is that life is hard, dude. Like you need to fucking put in the effort if you want to succeed at anything. And another thing I learned is that if you fail, it's a good thing. Like if you fail and you learn from it, it's super rewarding, because you'll get you'll get a take back out of it. And I think that's super important to remember, especially in fighting games, is that like the more you lose, the more you learn, and the more you win, the less you learn.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's definitely a good lesson though.
There's a famous saying that we came up with in the dojo group.
Oh yeah.
Joe's time, Leo, Parker, and all of them. The famous phrase is, "If you're losing, you're learning." Because we lose a lot. We would lose a lot, so at least we learned a lot, right?
Yeah.
So Herman, you're trying to do the same thing though, right? So you're kind of doing the opposite though. You went from fighting games to being a DJ. So is what you're doing for DJ more of a, well, I'm not gonna say it's just a hobby, because it seems like you're pretty serious about it. But like, have you learned anything from doing fighting games to like doing the DJ? Like, has anything carried over from that?
So oddly enough, I was actually DJing before I started playing fighting games.
Oh really?
But I quit.
Oh.
I don't know why I necessarily quit, but I quit doing that. I like put everything in storage and was like, whatever, just a phase. And then
Just a phase, mom.
just a phase. I bought all the stuff. Like I did a few parties and stuff, and then I quit. And was just like, all right, fighting games. And then what got me back into it is Crack Fiend.
Really?
Oddly enough, remember when they had the NorCal Fight Club at the Turn the Butter, and then we're doing like top 8 stuff.
Turning the Butter?
Yeah, it was like the last event at Turning the Butter.
Okay.
And then I made the top 8 for NorCal Fight Club.
Oh yeah, that one where I went 0-10.
Yeah.
0-10.
Yeah, he did. And then Crack Fiend was giving the introductions to everything, and then he did my introductions, and he was like, he said something along the like, oh, he used to go from spinning tables to spinning mixers, and like,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, he did that, and like, it clicked in my head. I had kind of like the regret.
Wait, he just said that, and that's like what made you get back into it?
Yeah,
Wow.
It was like a weird like regret thing. I was like, shit, like why did I stop doing this? And then I got like 5th in that thing out of top 8, and I was just like, it just stuck in my head that whole year. And then I decided to go back to school, and then oddly enough, I'm in like radio and stuff like that, and they have turntables there and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, wait, I can do this. Like, why am I not doing this? I can do this. And then from there, I just took all my like Street Fighter stuff I built up learning when it comes to like song selection, and it goes to audio engineering to like try stuff. Like, I can't just say it won't work because it happened once. And like a jump in, like, you're not gonna stop jumping after he anti-airs you once. Like, you got to keep doing it at different situations, not at certain situations. So that I took that into mixing and doing my audio engineering stuff, where it's like, I tried putting this compressor on this mic at a different angle, and just because it doesn't work like that at that angle in that situation, I could always put a different compressor with a different mic at a different angle. I'm not just gonna write it all off just because it didn't work once. Just because that bad idea didn't work once, I'm not gonna ever try to use that idea a different way, from which stems from fighting games. Like, I'm not gonna not stop jumping at you just because you anti-air me once. I'm not gonna, as stupid as that sounds, I'm not gonna not jump at you or not.
You'll do it maybe a little bit less, but you're not gonna stop. You can't stop me from jumping.
that goes in tune with my like song selections when I DJ. Like maybe this song doesn't sound good with this song, but I can always like drop it in differently, mix it in differently, or use it a different way in a different selection. Which for me, I feel like I would have never had if I didn't play fighting games.
Hmm.
Cause just the idea of being able to try something and mentally work through it rather than just trying something and never doing it again.
Yeah, you hear that, everybody? You play fighting games, you get more discipline, more patience. Overall, you just get better at doing whatever you put your mindset to. And
Actually, it's true.
it's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
it's fun. It's funny that you bring that up because the biggest thing that I emphasize on when I'm trying to give advice about like leveling up as a player or whatever, right? It's something I always tell myself is that I never want to lose the same way. It's okay to lose, right? It's okay to lose because that's part of learning. But if you're losing the same way every time, that means you're not learning. You're just losing the same way because that means you're just doing the same thing over and over, hoping for different results in a sense, right? So I tell people don't get discouraged by losing as long as you're losing in different ways.
So going from Street Fighter, doing like stuff in Street Fighter 5 being less rewarding as opposed to other games like Marvel 3, for example. Like in Marvel 3, you can kind of just do whatever you want and you'll still have fun. It's still satisfying. Like you do even a simple B and B combo and you're just like, oh, that was sick. And this is something I learned from like playing Them's Fighting Herds, is that like the combos in that game are pretty fun and freeform and I could do whatever I want. Where opposed to like Street Fighter 5, you're very restricted. So like, do you feel like that restriction actually like carries some weight towards bringing in new players?
I don't think it matters to the new players at all.
Okay.
And I think Street Fighter 5 is much easier than Marvel or Street Fighter 4 in general. Street Fighter 5 is more, I want to say, user friendly, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think, yeah. Go ahead.
No, go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that in Street Fighter 4 it was executing the dope combos, right?
Yeah.
The hard ones, the hard links, right? Or the one frame links and blah blah blah, and then maybe neutral afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the high level players, it was both, right? Executing, the really big hard combos, and then being able to do be able to do neutral as well too. With Street Fighter 5, it doesn't matter if you know the combos or not. I mean, everyone knows.
Everyone knows the combos.
right?
Like gold
But
players
where
know
it
the
get-
combos.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anyone could do those combos, but then the biggest part of it is, obviously the neutral. Because I remember when Street Fighter 5 first came out, people were like, "There's no neutral in Street Fighter 5," but now like you see it. Pretty heavy now, right? I mean, neutral is a big deal, and learning how to whiff punish and learning the meta of like what to press, when to press, when to jump, blah blah blah. So it's not just the combos anymore. I mean, I think that's what new players. That's where the new players, get enticed with. They're like, oh, I want to learn those combos, blah blah blah, right? But when they start getting better, getting to higher ranks and they're getting demolished because it's not just the combos, I think that's when they get discouraged because they're losing all the time. Because you're like, hey, how come I know how to do this combo though, but it's not about the combos. It's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way I saw it was like also you're watching a stream, and like what looks more fun, Marvel 3 or Street Fighter 5, or even Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5? Because like I think streaming these days is a big way to get new players to be interested in the game, and I mean, having a fancy combo that's like 10 seconds long entices players a lot more than a 3-hit combo that anyone can do. So like I was thinking, like, I mean, I'm not really sure what Capcom's gonna do for Street Fighter 6, but I do kind of hope that they put in a little bit more combo extension in some way. But yeah, I just think that like having something flashy is kind of important these days.
Yeah, it shows personality, right? When you saw, like, if you see Sako play Evil Ryu Street Fighter 4, you knew it was Sako. You know what I'm saying? and you know when it's Daigo playing Evil Ryu as well too. There's a distinct difference between those two players.
Yeah.
same character, but Sako most likely will go for the more difficult combos.
Yeah.
But then there was that one instance when Daigo did that Stunfest combo on on Momochi,
Yeah.
right? And that was like, I mean, obviously it adds personality because only the top players can execute those combos at such a high intensity match, that has a lot of money on the line or blah blah blah. So that's what made the difference and stuff. Yeah, no, I understand that. That makes sense.
And especially like how Samurai Showdown didn't have any fancy combos. It was straight up fundamentals and
some of the stuff
footsies,
still looks so
neutral.
sick though, dude.
It looks dope, but like, do you think like newcomers would like to see that type of game? Or
So I think Sam Show is such a I think it kind of breaks the mold in a lot of ways because having like Rage Explosion, like the animation for Rage Explosion is so fucking sick, dude. I love the look of Rage Explosion. Like Burst in general, I think every game should have a Burst, but that's just my own opinion. But Easton as well, like super flashy. It's an invincible move that's like super fast. It goes full screen, and if it hits, you get a nice cinematic.
yeah,
So I think that kind of stuff is like super important, even though overall the game is super simple, 2-hit combos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
the pace of the game, it's not like a Marvel or not like a Street Fighter.
it's
Because I know audience, like your typical audience, they want to see those, those combos, those, just basically they want to see some action on the damn screen.
yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think it depends on like the characters as well. Some characters were very slow, and then there was some other characters that could just hold up and win. So I think it kind of bases on the characters that people see on the screen. But yeah, now that you make me think about it, I'm just like, Sam Show, like as a spectacle, is very different than most other fighting games.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a niche kind of category for fighting games as well. But I don't know. I love Sam Show though. God, I wish that game had good online.
R.I.P.
So this is totally off topic, but yeah, Andy OCR, shouts to him. He's like doing Parsec with Sam Show, and he's creating some stuff that I think could help other games on PC, and maybe even Street Fighter, because we all know Street Fighter 5's netcode is not
wonderful.
exactly.
It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the best. I love it.
Laggy match since I blacklisted everyone.
How many people do you have blacklisted?
On my PS4 account, my list is full.
Oh,
Damn.
didn't they increase the list?
Yeah, it's still
Yeah, they did.
I think when the new season started, I don't play on ranked, if any or if at all anymore. I hit UGM and I was like, all right, I'm done, or whatever, whatever. But I don't have anyone blacklisted now. No one.
Really? Not a single person?
Not a single person.
I used back then. I used to blacklist people who would beat me. I'm not even lying.
You're one of those guys, huh?
Oh,
I used to.
Oh man.
I used to blacklist.
Look at you now, though, dude.
I used to blacklist people like the characters, like certain characters. I would blacklist them, like AMKIDD.
Damn, you blacklisted me and Pavo. Oh man, dude.
Yeah, you were blacklisted.
You know what? I'm proud of that.
Yeah, like before when I started, I would blacklist so many people just for the stupidest reasons, and now I strictly only blacklist for lag.
Shit.
It's
I
gotta
ain't gonna
be
lie,
like-
I rage quit. I went back in the
Oh,
season
dude,
1.
rage quitting back in season 1 was so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So
Why
bad.
people-
So all of us have dabbled at least in streaming, right?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
I know AMKIDD's definitely more than dabbled in it. Mr. Partner over here.
Twitch rivals.
Twitch rival.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
that
forgot
Mortal
about
Kombat day.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Yeah,
Hell
that was
yeah.
when I was
Dude,
the MK player. I was the leg.
dude.
How long did you play Mortal Kombat for before that?
a week.
A week?
No. A good few months when it came out and released, and then I think the scene just and actually, I think the scene in esports arena kind of started dying down and stuff.
I don't
Yeah,
know
that was
why
pretty
it's
fast
like
for Mortal
that.
Kombat, huh?
I don't know why it's like that for NRS games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the online is really good for that game too, and then people just don't show up or whatever. I don't know.
And Optic and 3 other guys.
I wonder how many Street Fighter players ended up like entering those tournaments for ESA and what like percentage of those were in the total bracket. Because it was like
Probably in the first week. Because I know me and Ted were in it.
yeah, was Long
Every
in
week.
it?
I had freaking hella fun when that game first came out, man.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, because you would
I
play
had a ton.
Garrus, right?
I had it. I
And
was.
Garrus
like-
was broken as fuck back then.
I was just, dude. I was saying, man, fuck Street Fighter 5. MK11 is the shit. Like, and I don't know. Panoptic got hella good at it.
Oh yeah, he
started-
got hella good at it. Yeah.
He got hella good.
Did he get
And,
top 8 at a major?
Really?
He did go out to what do you call it? An ECT?
Yeah.
Yeah, he flew out to ECT for Mortal Kombat.
Oh, just for Mortal
um,
Kombat? Wow.
Yeah, but he got top 8 plenty of times at ESA.
Yeah.
Arnold, you know, he went to Twitch Rivals. That was a good exposure for you. But everybody's like,
Who the hell is this guy?
who's the Asian kid?
Oh man.
Mom. He lost.
Like they literally was like, man, who's this guy?
He keeps doing slide. Forward 2 slide.
You took at least a game from some guys, right?
Yeah, I did okay with my team. I did okay. I went to Combo Breaker I think later on that year, and I was one match away from getting out of pools. I was one match away.
Bro, I lost to Wheels at Combo Breaker.
Oof.
Wheels?
Wheels.
Okay,
He's a
Oh,
really good
Wheels,
player.
yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
I'm a dumbass, dude. I actually got hit for it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna beat this guy. You know, in my head, like you don't think like. I don't want to sound ignorant, but like you don't think you're gonna lose to a player in a wheelchair, you know?
Oh
And-
shit.
Dude,
why
he showed me up, bro.
He's one of the
I was
best
just-
players in the world.
Yeah, especially in KI. I mean, when Michelangelo told me, he's like, "Oh shit, he's really good." I was like, "Damn, I've really underestimated this kid." Like, dude, you can really do a lot of shit if you fucking put your mind to it. Especially if I mean, like, if you're disabled or anything. I fucking flipped my hat to him, dude. Like, I literally thought I was gonna beat him. I was like, "Oh, he's not gonna beat me." Dude, his dad next to was like, "Oh, you lost?" I was just like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I got my ass kicked.
I was like, "Fuck."
I mean, that's like kind of just going to the topic of like, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. Like, it doesn't matter if you're unable to use your hands correctly or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
like as long as you love something and put your mind to it and put the time in, you'll find a way
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, there's like a Broly Legs, and then
Holy legs, yeah.
is it Sev in Europe, the blind player?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the blind Ken player.
Yeah, like
he's
Yeah, that
he's
shit was
he,
hype.
he can
He's
actually like
he's
beat-
Super Diamond.
yeah.
He's Super Diamond. Yeah, Super Diamond.
Yeah,
I actually watched
and-
a couple of his streams.
Like, how do you play a game without being able to see what's on the screen, dude?
I don't know, dude.
It's
He had some
crazy.
daredevil.
That's beyond Daredevil,
powers, dude.
dude. But yeah, no, it's yeah, definitely if you put the time in, it's rewarding to say the least.
For sure.
But yeah, back to streaming though. Are you guys gonna go hard on streaming when Street Fighter 6 comes out?
I think I am. I mean, why not?
Hell
I
yeah,
think
dude.
us, for like FGC, I think we're like default to that, right? A new,
Yeah.
like a fight. Because when Mortal Kombat came out, I was streaming it for a while.
Mm.
I wasn't really into like anime games or whatever, so I didn't really stream like DBZ or any other stuff. But obviously, if it's Street Fighter, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
It's the same way that I felt when Street Fighter 5 first came out. Like I was in line for GameStop to get Street
Oh
Fighter.
wow,
I bought a PS4
you bought a
because of Street Fighter
PS4 just
5.
for Street Fighter?
Yeah, I never had a PS a PlayStation system until Street Fighter 5. So I was all about that Street
Wow.
Fighter. I was all about that Street Fighter life. Yeah. Because I played 4 on my Xbox and I got super hooked. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get good at Street Fighter 5. I want to be fucking, because then now everyone starts at the same level as me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get good at this shit, right?
No,
So,
I think that's a big thing about Street Fighter 5. Like it's a clean slate, right?
Yeah,
It
clean
is.
slate. So it's the same thing with Street Fighter 6, and obviously, the community that we have right now was built off of fighting games originally, right? So fuck, I will. I know I am gonna stream Street Fighter 6, and I know I'm gonna play it because even though I don't stream the game as often as I used to, it doesn't mean I have any less love for it. I actually still love Street Fighter 5. I still play it a lot. I still played a lot on my Discord. I played it every single day. I actually play that shit.
Oh, I used to play every day.
Yeah, I play every single day. I run first to fives with people in the Discord, blah blah blah. I still run Super Saturdays for Street Fighter. So just because I'm not streaming it as often doesn't mean I have any less love. I still feel the same way about the game. I see streaming Street Fighter 5 different. And it's not but it's streaming and then playing Street Fighter 5 is 2 different things now for me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before it would be like all about streaming and Street Fighter, and streaming Street Fighter 5 exclusively and blah blah blah. But I see a bigger picture for streaming now, and unfortunately, right, with the Twitch category for Street Fighter 5, it's not as big. It's a very niche community, man. If you think about it, right? We still have the same top players.
FGC in general.
FGC in general, and we have the same viewers over there, right? You go to any Street Fighter 5 stream, right? You'll see the same people in the other stream that you were just in.
Yeah.
That's how small it is.
Yeah.
So as far as a streaming standpoint, I don't see it that valuable in that kind of sense. As far as growing my platform,
Yeah. And it's also like it depends on how much fun you're having as well, and how much you want to communicate with your community in your chat. Because like in fighting games, you have to kind of pay attention, right? Because you can't just glance over the chat and be like, oh yeah, so you have a question for me. Oh, I'm getting okied on by Mika right now. What do I do? So it's like a different kind of conversation that you can have with your chat, because you have to pay attention to your game.
Oh yeah, it's totally different, right? I mean, when you're streaming Street Fighter, like you're just focused on the match. The only time that you have the break in between is when is the break in between the match, right? And you have that segment to talk and communicate and whatever, blah blah blah. Then you go right back to a match, and that's if you're grinding ranked, right? If you're okay, so like a tournament, right? No one's the commentator isn't going to talk to you directly. You know what I'm saying? They'll commentate on the match. There's no chat interaction there, and people who tune in for tournaments, they want to see dope players play. They want to see the top players play. They don't care about the streamer really. They just want a place to watch the top players. That's it. So there's not a lot of engagement in that sense. So that's that's just my personal standpoint on like streaming and then Street Fighter 5 or fighting games, whatever. But but am I gonna stream Street Fighter 6 or am I gonna play Street Fighter 6? That's default. That's I'm a fighting game player. Of course I'm gonna play Street Fighter 6, which because that's just my nature at this point.
So I guess a follow-up question for that is, are you gonna participate with your community more, or are you gonna focus on getting better at Street Fighter 6?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? I mean, because when you, like, for example, right, the biggest thing that I emphasize in the community that we built so far, like especially our Discord, is how we can get better as players, right? So that's the same. That's doing 2 things at once, right? Leveling up as a player, right, and finding a group of people to level up with and that have the same mindset as you, right? It's not. I'm past the ego. I'm past all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if you beat me 10-0 or whatever, as long as I'm getting better. And I'm gonna come for that ass like next week or something. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, is just getting better. So if that's part of my community engagement, my community engagement, right? Say, hey, this new game's coming out. I know all you guys are Street Fighter players and fans and blah blah. I'm a Street Fighter fan. Let's get fucking good at this game. Let's fucking run sets, run lobbies, whatever it is. And I think obviously we'll see the Twitch category kind of just flare up, right? Because everyone's going to be streaming that game, and everyone's going to want to have this community or whatever. But I'm just concerned of the longevity. You know what I'm saying? I'm just concerned
That's
of,
always
as far as
yeah.
like, yeah, because some people get hooked for the first couple weeks. It's the same thing with the Mortal Kombat. I got hooked for the first few months or whatever. Then I was like, okay, well,
Go back to
I'm over
Street
it
Fighter.
now. Or, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, we'll see that. I think that happens naturally, but I think I hope that it continues to grow and the fighting game community continues to grow and also nurture new players and try to get that community, trying to get a new community in, and really focus on longevity. Yeah, man, because I feel like right now, sometimes if you go on like FGC Twitter, bro, like even as a new player, I'm like, if I was looking at that shit as a new player, I'd be like, I don't want to be part of this. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's some crazy shit that we see what's happening. So
Yeah,
that's what sucks, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, that's kind of like
the
the state of the video game world right now, though. It's kind of falling apart. Even like just like Twitch right now is kind of crazy. I mean, all the allegations going on right now and all the Twitter like firefights. It's something that I've never seen before, and I'm sure we'll see more of it. But
I hope we do, though. To be honest, and because those people need to be called out.
Yeah.
Those people need to get exposed, and those people need to get the fuck out or get their shit straight. So I'm just saying, like, if it's strictly
as an
FGC
outsider
or whatever, like, as wanting to get into a game, sometimes it can be really intimidating if they see like all the top players dominating or talking shit or whatever it is, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. But what about you two? Are you guys gonna stream it? You guys plan on streaming it?
I'm for sure streaming it. Like I said, I think of streaming as more of a hobby now. I mean, back then when I first streamed, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get all these views. I'm gonna get, I'm gonna make all this money and shit. But now, like, I really don't care.
That's how you
Like,
should see it.
Yeah, I really like. The reason why I want to stream is I just want to do it just because it's a hobby. It's for me to something that it's for me something to do for me. Other than that, I feel like, yeah, of course I'm gonna stream Street Fighter 6 because I'm known for playing Street Fighter. So why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
for me, I'll stream it. I guess. I just hope the same thing doesn't happen in 6 that happens with me in 5, where I like suck for a whole 2 years, and then I get better. Even though it's gonna happen, which I'm fine with, but I'm just gonna be like, man, there's really gonna be another sucky me out there.
Well, so the thing about that is that you started in 2014, and then you started to get good in 2017. Is that what you would say for yourself, or?
Yeah, like season 2 or 3.
Yeah. So you can carry over your fundamentals from now, as opposed to your 2016 version to Street Fighter, from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5. But now you've improved so much from Street Fighter 5, and now you can convert that to Street Fighter 6. And I think that's gonna make a huge difference for all of us, because we were all ass. All of us were ass, and now we're so much better. I like to say
I feel like, I feel like I think you'll do fine, to be honest, because I mean, you're learning a new game, right? But you understand fighting games. That's the biggest thing.
Mhm.
That's why you see people like Taquito or anyone that picks up another fighting game and be good at it. They might not know all the combos or all the other shit, but they have good fighting game theory. They understand how neutral works. They understand that you need to get anti-airs learn anti-airs. They understand all that. So you understand that already. So I think you'll be fine. It's just you learning the mechanics of the game that's gonna be different, right? But you understand fighting games. That's why it's like playing a new character in Street Fighter 5, right? A brand new character, right? Like you could still probably beat people with the day one character because you understand fighting games, right? Yeah, it's the same concept because you understand what's going on. You might you don't know all of Ryu's strings or whatever, blah blah blah, but you understand how to beat people and how to whatever.
And you understand the meta of the whole Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like the meta
Yeah,
for just fighting games in general.
Yeah.
Fundamentals.
I'm gonna do the same thing with 6 that I did with 5 and 4. I'm gonna see which is the least picked character, and I'm gonna learn that character. 'Cause that's how I picked Rashid in 040.
Really interesting.
I'm going top tier, all out. I don't care no more.
Arnold, are you gonna play Ryu?
Okay, you know me. I play the Ryu of every fucking game, right? Like literally, like
Sub-Zero.
last week. Yeah, bro. Like last week, I played Killer Instinct. I was like, Jago. I'm gonna pick Jago. I was like, he has a fireball. He has a DP. I'm all about it. He has a light Tatsu. Hell yeah.
Poster
I
boys,
I
huh?
play.
Okay.
I play the Ryu of every game, like Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? I always do that kind of shit. Like, give me the guy that has the the fucking a quarter circle forward special a special move, fireball. I'm good.
Yeah, and usually when it comes to those kind of characters, they're usually like pretty solid when they come out, like when they first come out. Like, I mean, I think Ryu back then was pretty good. He wasn't like top tier or anything like that, but he was like
He was valuable.
He was
Oh, he was
super
good.
good though. Like,
Are we gonna see like the streamers that we see now, right, that are doing well in Street Fighter 5 category? Are we gonna see them excel in Street Fighter 6 category as well too?
That's a no.
Are we gonna see a bunch of new players kicking? New streamers kicking Street Fighter?
I mean, it could
Are
be
we gonna
Street
see,
Fighter
are we
5
gonna
all
see the
over
next
again.
punk? Are we gonna see the next punk?
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Because like I was definitely new to Street Fighter 5 category. I wasn't in Street. I didn't know what Twitch was, at the time when Street Fighter 4 was out. So people say, oh yeah, I've been watching Twitch in Street Fighter 4. I didn't even know that shit existed. You know what I'm saying? So I was a new streamer in Street Fighter 5. But now we have a lot more. So I'm excited to see what we're gonna see in that category when Street Fighter 6 comes out. I'm excited to see all the new players that'll kick in. And to be honest, like I want to see a different rotation of top players. Kind of how we saw in Street Fighter 5. Kind of, when I say because we still see Daigo, Takedo, Bonchan, blah blah blah, right? But there have been new players that really broke out into the scene. So I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that in Street Fighter 6 too. I'm excited to see that in Street Fighter 6.
One thing that I'm a little concerned about is if the older players that like were really good at Street Fighter 5 right now and they struggle with Street Fighter 6, I hope that they like don't go on Twitter and kind of put the game on blast.
oh,
Kinda
and be like,
thing.
I hate this game.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 is way better.
Bad top players will do that.
I think so far, from what I've know so far and read so far, there's always gonna be that. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure when Street Fighter 4 came out, people were like, oh
Yeah.
Third Strike was way better, whatever,
Yeah.
blah, 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 right? And then when Street Fighter 5 came out, you see all those Street Fighter 4 players, oh, I hate this game, whatever.
Street Fighter 4 is way faster.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm confident that we'll see that in Street Fighter 6.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously,
Ted tweeted that out.
Oh
I
god.
hate this game. I want to go back to Urian.
I want to just tackle people. Turn my brain off.
Right. So yeah, I think I'm pretty sure we'll see that. I'm confident we will.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting to think about the category for Street Fighter 6 though, and how it'll explode. I think it'll be really, really good for the fighting game scene once that game drops. Like, right now we're all looking forward to Guilty Gear. I'm looking forward to Guilty Gear, but I think Street Fighter as a brand is just it's massive. And I mean, we got like Lupe Fiasco beating Daigo, right? So,
I remember that.
I'm sure Capcom's gonna try something very similar to that. Maybe get Drake in there or something like that. But
They need to get some celebrity.
someone from like the mainstay entertainment business to bring in more audience.
I remember when I first saw Street Fighter 5, I was at the Capcom Cup in San Francisco. That was my first Street Fighter event ever that I've ever attended.
At the Warfield?
Was it the Warfield? I have no idea, but it was. I remember Reinhardt going against Momochi, like Ryu versus whatever. I remember that.
Mhm.
Anyways, I remember when I first saw Street Fighter 5, it was Mike Ross and Goot. I think. Oh yeah, Mike Ross and Gootex playing it for the first time too. I was like, holy shit, this game looks so slow. I mean, if you look at the alpha footage of Street
Yeah,
Fighter 5.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was bad.
Totally
It
different.
was it was totally different. Oh man, so I'm excited to see the Street Fighter 6 alpha if it does come out. But then you know, obviously I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. It's because Street Fighter 5 alpha really like I was like, okay, this is totally different from what we're playing now. You know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we saw that, we were like, "Oh, this game has parries," and it's like, "Oh no, that's just the new block
No, that's
animation."
Yeah, I think back then they even had like guard block, right? I remember Ryu or someone was, or no, Chun-Li was doing sorry, not guard block, guard
guard break?
They had a guard break. Yeah. They had in the alpha they were playing. Chun-Li had a guard break animation happen to her. So people were trying to like speculate on how that was going to work, and you know,
I mean, it kind of is in the game, right? Ryu has a charged up EX fireball or whatever.
yeah, but he was just doing regular like V trigger one fireball.
Oh, yeah.
like, shit was guard breaking or some shit. It
I
was
mean, they
crazy,
probably
yeah.
saw that and they were just like, "Oh, that's way too powerful."
Yeah, so big.
Was like, they're like, yeah, Street Fighter, we're gonna have a theme. Everyone's gonna be like an elemental theme and blah blah blah. It's like really emphasis
yeah.
on like meant
I
to
don't remember
fight
that.
it. And then they did Chun-Li with like all this water. Like when she V-triggers, she had like crazy ass water animation happening.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Scrapped the idea. Like they did Rashid, Wayne, like Laura Electric, and then like Nikali came out as Gloop. I don't know why. Story mode. And like they totally like scrapped the idea after they're like, this is way too much stuff we promised that we can't do all this and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, when you see like the early stuff for a lot of things, you're kind of just like, "Oh, they could have done so much more, or they could have done so much less." And usually it's the latter because that's just how games are created these days. You have to fit it all in one disc. Although I am excited to see the PS5, what they do with that, dude. That's gonna be something.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys getting digital or disc standard?
Physical,
Neither.
dude.
Physical.
I have to do physical. So I was actually
Still
thinking
need a
about.
good. Go ahead.
Oh no. Well, so I was thinking about like the physical versus digital, and like, so Amazon's still going to sell games for the PS5 in disc form, and so is like everyone else. I don't know if GameStop is gonna. I don't know what GameStop's gonna do. I think they're fucked. But you know, like how games just go on sale much like a lot faster on physical. So I was thinking like since the physical version is going to be $100 more, I'll end up saving more money by just buying games that go on sale as opposed to buying them digitally. Even though most people buy them on digital anyways, but like for me, I like to collect things as well.
Yeah.
But like since games go on sale so quickly these days, I'm just like, maybe I'll actually save money going physical edition.
Do you guys buy the yearly PS4 thing? Membership?
I buy
Or do
it
you do
when
monthly?
it's on Newegg on sale or Amazon
Yeah.
or whatever.
Same here.
I buy like 4 of them and I'm just like, I'm good.
Oh,
Damn.
I should probably cancel mine.
Yeah, you play on
Somebody has
PC
a
now, right?
PayPal account.
Hey, actually, maybe I should do the same thing.
Yeah, I
But
don't even play PS4.
I'm so excited though for the next generation of like fighting games and seeing what the new consoles do for them. Because it also no longer restricts the PC version either for them to be almost equal, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope that the input delay is not going to be different from PC
It
to
should be.
PS4.
it should be good, I would say, because PS5 like it seems like they're trying to emphasize on how many like the triangles that you can have on
Yeah.
screen.
Because I remember the biggest like the most jarring thing was it was playing from playing online to offline, from PC to PS4. Holy shit, was that bad for me? It took me months to get over that. I was like, holy shit, this is such a huge input delay. So if you played only on PC and then you suddenly go to PS4, bro, that shit's underwater. Especially, and I played the PS4 version. This is pre-patch because they patched it again.
Yeah.
They patched it to make it just as similar as PC, but it was still like a 3 or 4 frame difference. Back then it was like 8 or whatever frames or whatever the hell it was.
It was pretty bad.
crazy. It was pretty bad, man. The shit was, I legit felt like I was underwater.
Yeah, thank God they fixed that.
Mhm.
It took a while though, right? It took like what, a year or two?
You still feel it though. I mean, because I still play on PC. Then if I play on my PS4, I can feel the difference.
Hmm.
I'm not as
It's not as bad, but yeah, you can.
It's not as bad, but you still feel it. It's still
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
Next iterations of like Street Fighter, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But before we end this, there's one last thing I wanted to ask you guys. So before we all got into competition, we all probably watched fighting games at least, right? Like we would watch all the Evos and whatnot.
Mhm.
Who was your inspiration at that time to get good? Like for me, it was Gamer B. Like the hardworking B that he is. He's like he's pretty old, but he still did so well. And with the character, and I guess I play the same character as he did, so that's obviously has something to do with it. But like his work ethic was just, it was super motivating. And watching him get top 2 and top 3 is just super sick.
Yeah.
I watched Evo and Street Fighter 4 at the time as like a pure viewer, like who's my favorite player kind of shit, right? It wasn't like, oh, who do I look up to so I can get better? Because I wasn't really thinking competitive at the time. I was just thinking about like, oh, I could beat my best friend. That's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I'm the best in my family.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, but I still am and will always be motherfucking Daigo fan, baby. Goddamn. Yeah, no, I'm a huge Daigo fan. I mean, I watch his streams now, just like seeing the difference or seeing how Daigo plays and how he creates tech. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, like Gal, Street Fighter 5, crouch jab. I didn't see anyone do it until Daigo did it. And then everyone started doing crouch jab anti-air. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like him like doing those small little things. And obviously like the lore between him and Tokido and whatever, and how like he's unstoppable and the long sets. Then you see Tokido fucking do 7-0 on his ass. Like that's just crazy, right? But then Daigo, he sees it past that, and I don't know. So I still am, and will always be a Daigo fan. So if you're asking me who my favorite player is, then it would be Daigo. And I don't know about inspiration and stuff, but like just yeah.
He was like your hero a little bit.
Yeah, my hero, Daigo.
Like for me, I don't think the only player that I knew about is exactly Daigo. I didn't really know anybody else back in like Street Fighter 4. Like I've always looked out for Daigo on stream.
Bro, I would only watch Evo if Daigo was still there. Right? You know what I'm saying? As soon as if he was knocked out, I'm like, Evo's done. Evo's over. I'm out.
Daigo the god, dude.
Change the stream.
Like I didn't know any other pro players. Like I wasn't familiar with anybody until I really started diving into the whole like Street Fighter 4 tournament thing. But like I said, yeah, Daigo is the only player that I would like try to watch out for, because he would, he would be like on IGN, or he would be on like a different video game forum. So I think, yeah.
Herman?
Trying to think about this, I was like, man.
You can just say Daigo too.
he's gonna say Rom.
Oh god, dude. Play third strike.
Weird because people usually like gravitate to like their character, but in like the top player form and stuff like that. And like I guess when El Fuerte was big, like they had Peppadai playing, he was doing hella good. But like watching like good ass players never really motivated me, because it was kind of like, I don't know, I had this weird mentality to where like, all right, they're top player, whatever. Like the one thing that motivated me were like, as corny as it sounds, it was always like the people I played against, like in local and my friends. Like those guys would always motivate me more than any like top player would, because like I had this weird thing, like if I played you, like I always wanted you to be like, oh, he's good, and if I kept winning, it's like paying homage to my friends that have been playing with me, because I would get better. So it was like I was really doing it for all my friends that were playing, rather than like those guys motivated me more because they would play with me rather than the top player that was winning everything. Because they had.
Are you gonna say LPN is your hero?
Oh my god, is that where you're leading to?
scumbag. Nah.
Let me go text him right now.
LPN. He's my roommate now. Oh my god, dude.
That's why you moved in.
Sadly enough, we don't play at all.
Really?
Yeah, we don't play like
Because he's stuck playing Valorant, bro, with me.
like Call of Duty and all that stuff. But no, back when I was getting better, it was always like people like I could name mostly everyone in NorCal that I played and got better because of playing. So it was like Ted, Panoptic, Crackfiend, AM, Higashi, Pavo, Kelvin, BJ, Rom, One Time Hero, like Seagull. Like I can name almost all of like the Bay Area players that helped me get better. So it's like to them, it was my inspiration to keep getting better.
Who's your number one though?
Say it, bro. Just say it.
I can't think. I don't know.
All right, it was LPN. Shout out to LPN.
Just default to LPN, dude.
Just
say it.
default it's LPN.
Hype fiend. Hype fiend.
Hype fiend. Oh no. He's still gonna get hard off of that, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I was your inspiration.
Anthony Eats.
Anthony Eats. So actually, the segue on that. What about you guys actually then? So for Herman, it was LPN and
What?
And
Fake
and Hype Fiend. Or just yeah. But so for you, Arnold, and you, Ted, who are like your local heroes? So for me, it's really hard for me to say it, but it kind of was. Oh god, I don't even want to say it now, dude. Oh my god, dude. But it was LPN for me at back when I was like watching the local CTBs and whatnot, because he would play so fucking wild and crazy, almost random even, and I was just like, dude, this is exciting, dude. This is exciting as shit to watch. But yeah, now that I know him, I'm just like, okay, it makes sense why it's so wild and crazy and random. But yeah, do you guys have any like local heroes or like local people that you liked watching?
I think
Or
when
just
I
playing
first
with?
started, it was Panoptic and Taunt, because those are the two. Yeah, no,
Taunt,
real
yeah.
talk. Yeah,
Taunt
Panoptic
your
and Taunt.
buddy, man. He's your homie.
Yeah,
dude.
Taunt's the homie, man. Like he really got me out to
Yeah.
like go out to like these locals. But when I first met Taunt, just because Kevin, when he played Nash, I kind of wanted to play like his
beat him?
Nash.
Oh really?
Yeah, I wanted to, because his Nash was. You can't front. Freaking Panoptic's Nash was freaking clean back then.
I mean,
one.
Kevin as
He-
just a player is.
So yeah, Kevin as a player, he's fundamentally sound. Like he's a good fighting game player. I mean, look at him. He's doing good in freaking Mortal Kombat. Like you never thought he would be an RS player now, just because he's fundamentally good in fighting games.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I would just say Panoptic and Taunt. Those two were probably like my local heroes.
Damn, I don't know.
Okay, I'm changing my
Local hero
answer
sounds
to
like-
Pavo
Oh my god.
and
I mean,
Paul.
I rooted for a lot of you guys. I watched a lot of your like anytime that you guys were on stream, I was watching the whole time, and I was like, win it for us, man. Win it for NorCal. You know what I'm saying? If there was one person that I would root for, because I would see him progress and beat players that I didn't think he was able to beat at first, would probably be NORESPECT, hands down. Because
I was gonna say my name.
No, well, relax.
Dude. Oh man, did you beat Punk? Ultima? Did you beat Punk?
Yeah, because I've seen NORESPECT. You know, like I've seen him obviously just like in the locals and stuff like that. But when I see him out in the majors and stuff and put it in work, like I take a lot of pride in that. Like I know this guy and he's fucking good. I know he's good. He's the best Urian that I know, and I could proudly say that. So I think, you know, when I see you on NORESPECT, like I'm rooting for you 10,000. And when I see you place high, I'm like, hell yeah. I know, I'm like, damn, I didn't think he could beat that guy. He fucking beat that guy or whatever, you know, that kind of shit. Because I know how much you care about the game, and I know how competitive you get, right? And I know that you don't like losing as well too. So when I see you fucking pop off, and when I see you fucking win, especially if it's someone that you thought that you maybe in your head that you couldn't beat, I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get hyped for that. I get hyped.
Damn, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
That's all love, dude.
Mhm.
Nice. Dang, dude. Ted's got a fan in here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Smack, man.
Yo, I can't wait to see you IRL again, dude. I can't wait.
Come on, man.
I love your Nash.
Yeah. Man, no. That's damn it.
Now he's gonna cry on.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Nice.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. I believe we're coming up on time. I know you guys have some stuff to do. I know AMKIDD's gonna be streaming really soon here, and yeah, I think we're gonna probably raid him as well as soon as he goes live. Or, I mean, we'll see that the waiting screen of Ryu, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's still my intro
Yeah.
screen. I've had that same intro screen for like 2 years now, and it hasn't
That-
changed.
that
Like even
intro
though I'm
cl-
doing, yeah.
That shit is clean.
It's really good.
Yeah, so like even if it's not Street Fighter, it's like you still know that screen. That's the starting. That's the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
starting
Oh, yeah.
screen, the insert coin screen. You know.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess before we end this, you guys have anything last thing to say or?
No, man. Just want to thank you for the great show, the great talk. It was good to catch up with all you guys too. I know it's been a while since we've seen each other and hung out and played
Yeah.
against each other too in an offline scene, but. It's good that we could talk about, everything that's going on outside of just like, hey man, what's the frame data on this? So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's cool, and I hope that I hope you do more of this, Higashi. I think this is important, not just for NorCal, but I think just as someone who wants to learn more about the FGC and where people come from, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know where to start. So if they hear our stories, they might feel inspired to be like, all right, so there are cool people in the FGC that I could probably, turn to and stuff like that. So good stuff, man. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys?
I just want to say it was good talking to you guys. I just hope everybody's staying healthy and safe out there. I know that we're going through some uncertain times right now, but we will be back. We just got to be patient.
The scene never dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like Ted and Arnold said everything that I was gonna say. Like, Higashi, it's really cool that you're finally starting to do this more and more, and I think it's really good for the scene and for everyone in the community to be involved in something rather than just playing the game. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, playing the game is cool, but like having
The connection needs to stay. I think it's really important for all of us to stay connected and communicate and just have fun, dude. Like, that's the most important thing to me, is that as long as you guys have fun, dude, it's a good show.
Yeah.
and then yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be back. We'll be back. This is not the end of us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Stay inside. Stay inside, guys.
stay inside, stay safe, wear a mask, and yeah, do what you love. But yeah, dude, I want to thank all of my guests here. Thank Ultima, thank NORESPECT, and then AMKIDD. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the show. Thank you for telling us your stories, and thank you, chat. But yeah, we're gonna raid AMKIDD, and I hope you guys all have a great and wonderful day.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, peace out, y'all.